can feel good knowing that all services are backed with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. All you have to do is schedule a free home evaluation, and a licensed Aero professional will come to your home and inspect, identify, and then treat in the most environmentally responsible method available today. Call 888-GO-AERO or visit aeroexterminators.com. That's 888-GO-AERO or aeroexterminators.com. It's not just pest control, it's Aero Exterminators Pest Control.
Securities offered through MWA Financial Services, Inc., a wholly owned subsidiary of Modern Woodmen of America.
6:33 on the button if you want to set your clock by it. We are there, and we're also dropping temperature-wise. We were at 42. We're down at 40 today, but so far. But Ray says we're going to turn this thing around this morning.
Should be getting ourselves into a pretty good run of weather here as we kick off the new work week. Now, it was cool over the weekend, especially during the morning hours, and just forget about Saturday. What an ugly day. Now we're going to get into some clear sky and sunshine and warmer temperatures with maybe some 8s as the first number on the car thermometers. We'll go through today with a mix of cloud and clear sky early, sunshine, a few clouds this afternoon, 81. Tonight, clear into the mid-50s. Tomorrow, we will cloud over, some change coming, an isolated shower, maybe a thunderstorm, 79. Showers tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. Wednesday's high, 77. Thursday, rain, maybe a thunderstorm, 71. Friday, we should dry out with a high near 75. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. Let's get over here and look at the current conditions. The barometer's at 30.16. The wind's out of the southeast at just about a mile an hour. Humidity at 88%. No precip in the past 24 hours, but I did take a look at the rain gauge over the weekend to see exactly how things are shaping up, and we actually got an inch in 1500s on Friday, 1.15, and then on Saturday morning earlier we got another 4,700. So if you want to know how much moisture has hit the ground here since sunrise on Friday, it's been an inch and 6,200s, 1.62, 40 degrees, WCLU at 634.
Make this the year that you transition into spring fully prepared. When it comes to making your home and property look its best to have Mammoth Cave Transplants at your side. Come to Mammoth Cave Transplants and see greenhouse after greenhouse. Plants, hanging plants.
Did merchandise.
Well, that certainly helps because I need a new dress for Easter, a new outfit for Mother's Day, and anything special to wear to graduation.
I'm sure Susan at Trendy Me can help. She has a great eye for what's in style, from the perfect outfit to matching jewelry and purses.
Trendy Me, your one stop for a trendy you. Trendy Me, 1508 South Green Street in Glasgow. Call 270-834-8876.
When was the last time you got your Ralphie on? What's getting your Ralphie on, you ask? When you're winning prizes and lighting up the score in the arcade, you're getting your Ralphie on. When you're dancing under the lights on roller skates, you've turned on your inner Ralphies. When you bring your coworkers to bowl in the business league, your office staff has clocked in on Ralphie's time. If you suffer from symptoms such as lack of fun, feeling bored, if you get frequent urges to act like it's your birthday, or if you're just not smiling enough, you need to go to Ralphie's. That's Ralphie's Fun Center in Glasgow. A great place for any party, event, field trip, or church group. Get your Ralphie on.
Boy, they always have fun at Ralphie's Fun Center, and no matter what your event is going to be, it could be a big family reunion. Could be a big get-together for everybody at the office. Maybe a birthday party and invite family members. Well, I'm going to tell you what. Ralphie's Fun Center is the place to get that done. That's Ralphie's Fun Center. They make it fun. Let me tell you about the birthdays here. I just got one more I got to add. It is Margie Joseph. Just learned that Margie Joseph is having a birthday today. So is Tracy Russell. We have Eddie Bowman. He's turning 87 today. And also we have Marvin Shockley turning 87 today. How about Miss Catherine Harden? That's right, Catherine Harden. Happy birthday. Cameron Roos Walker is 33. William D. Anderson, Kathy Nason, Denise Birds. The Asher twins, Dustin and Austin Asher, celebrating birthdays today. As promised, where is that 30 gong? It's right over here. The 30 gong being sounded today for Nicole Walden. We have Rosalind Silvestri. Rosalind is 17 today. Congratulations to all of our honorees there. Let me reach over here and tell you about today being Linda Harrison Day on the radio. Now, Linda recently celebrated her 70th birthday, and we just kind of had to work it out to where we could pat her on the back and let her know that she's good as gold. And we're going to do that today. So if you happen to see Linda Harrison around town today, you pat her on the back, ask her how she likes 70 so far, and let her know she's good as gold from WCLU and a little taste of Texas. Coming right back. It's going to be time for the archives here on WCLU.
Deal Partners, creating a map for your future. Every Monday and Tuesday, enjoy half-off sushi and appetizers at Shogun Bistro in Glasgow all day long. That's right, half-off sushi and appetizers. Shogun Bistro of Glasgow. You've chosen wisely.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and hit the archival intro right here on WCLU. It's where we look at things from the perspective of 100 years ago. We get so many pleasant comments about the archives. I want to say a great big thank you to our sponsor, Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services. Also archivists like Ray Green and Gail Berry and the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center staff down there, including their leader, Ms. Sherry Wesley. It's a busy time down there. We're going to come back and check out some information right after this.
15,000 inventory items, custom brake hoses while you wait, cylinder repair. Is there anything Joseph A. Wade can't do? Well, one thing's for sure, Joseph A. Wade Incorporated serves a large community of people who believe there's no job they can't do, and that's the same attitude Joseph A. Wade has in their line of work. So for the smallest screws, Allen wrenches, or drill bits, or even a 5-stage hydraulic cylinder measuring 25 feet in length, Joseph A. Wade's motto? No problem. Joseph A. Wade Incorporated, 311 Industrial Drive, Glasgow.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're up and running good. And actually, I got to say good morning to the historical part of this program. We're talking about Sam Terry. Hey, Sam, how are you doing, sir?
Doing well, Henry. How are you today?
I'm excellent. Did you have a good Easter celebration, did you?
It was indeed. It always is great to have Easter, and it was nice to have an actual spring-like day.
It was
on Easter.
It just has a way of turning out that way a lot of times, you know. After it could be ugly before Easter, but somehow a lot of times Easter turns out to be kind of pretty, and yesterday was no different. All right, you want to go back 100 years and look at things from the 1919 perspective?
Certainly.
We got a couple of stories right here to share with you from 1919. This story in the Glasgow Times. Friday, Master Lawrence Miller, accompanied by his mother, went up to Camp Taylor to visit his father. He reports a grand trip and says Dr. Miller is improving nicely. This will be welcome news to his many friends in and around Glasgow. On leaving home, Lawrence asked his mother, quote, how far will we be from France when we reach the Hotel Henry Watterson? Well, you're a little far from France, but you're pretty far from home, too, if you're a little fellow like that.
Exactly.
So
a lot of people would remember Lawrence by his nickname of Dusty Miller, with the dry cleaning business and other concerns in Glasgow. And of course, back on Armistice Day in November, we had that great letter written by his father, Dr. T.F. Miller, telling his family of the armistice and the ending of fighting in World War I.
History in the first person at that point, wasn't it nice?
Indeed.
Now, reading through in between the lines right here, we've got a report that Dr. Miller is improving nicely. Does that mean he had some sort of an injury, do you know?
He was exposed to mustard gas.
Oh, okay.
In France, and ultimately died in 1919.
Oh, wow.
As a result of that.
Well, mustard gas was kind of a new invention back then, and it certainly proved to be, sounds like a bad thing to have in time of war for sure, or any time.
It was, and I just misspoke, and I want to correct that. He didn't die in 1919. It was a little bit after that.
Okay, but nonetheless, he was impaired
but
by
same complication.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And I'm glad they got to go visit Dad back in 1919. Also in 1919, a story about Arthur B. Kroc was in the Glasgow Times. Now, Arthur B. Kroc here is described as a former Glasgow boy and clever, brilliant newspaper man.
well qualified and capable of the Louisville Times, of which we are truly pleased. With Croc's pep and ginger, the editorial page of the Times will immediately take its place in the Sun. I'm presuming the way the story was written that Mr. Croc maybe had worked some for the Glasgow Times?
He did. He started his newspaper career at the Glasgow Times and then progressed to the Courier Journal, and from the Courier Journal to the New York Times, and of course became the chief of the Washington bureau of the New York Times for many years, and in the course of all of that, won 3 Pulitzer Prizes.
A clever, brilliant newspaper man, as the story says right here. You can see that marker to his honor out on East Main Street, too. You ought to check that out. Let's go to 1929. We have some more local folks doing good. This is the headline in the Glasgow Republican. A Canmer physician is taking postgraduate course. Dr. J.W. York of Canmer, Kentucky, has arrived in New York to take a 4-month postgraduate course at the New York Postgraduate Medical School and Hospital under a scholarship from the Commonwealth Fund of New York, granted to physicians associated with the community hospital at this place. Dr. York's postgraduate course will be in medicine. He was graduated in medicine in 1909 from the University of Nashville, Tennessee, and has taken special training in the Chicago Postgraduate Medical School in eye, ear, nose, and throat work. He has had 19 years of experience in general practice and has been connected with the Rose Hospital in Hancock, Georgia, since 1928. The Dr. York guests to the New York Postgraduate Medical School as a member of the staff of Community Hospital, one of the 6 institutions established in rural communities with the aid of the Commonwealth Fund to improve rural hospital facilities and medical practices. That's a big story, but it has big implications right there, Sam, for sure. This Commonwealth Fund of New York, instrumental in what we know today as T.J. Sampson Hospital. And
we are still grateful for that.
Yes, and 5 other institutions, too, in rural communities. It would be interesting, and I'm sure somebody somewhere has it in the record books of what are the 6 hospitals that were funded by the Commonwealth Fund and where the others were. But I'm glad that we were on their radar in the late 1920s. And, training physicians, too, not just building a building. All right, this day in 1939, we got Scotty's getting a rating of good. That's a Scotty band. Gets a rating of good this day in 1939. The Glasgow High School Band competed in the district band contest at Western's Teachers College last Saturday. Came out with a rating of good, which was not news to folks here who have heard them on many occasions. They knew they were good. Charles Curtis Jones, the son of Mr. and Miss Curtis Jones and a pupil of Mrs. K.E. Rapp, received a rating of excellent in the violin classification. So, we continue to have all these little things peppered across our news about how much music means to the folks of Glasgow and Barron County.
It does, and we'd be remiss if we didn't point out that, like Dusty Miller, Buck Jones was probably better known by his nickname in Glasgow, and went on to have a very distinguished military career. So another great example of a local boy doing well.
Excellent man. I was lucky to get to have known Mr. Buck Jones, and one of his 4 sons was inducted into the Glasgow High School Athletic Hall of Fame a couple of weeks ago, Chuck Jones. And that made everybody proud for sure. Some days we have to report bad news, and this is one of them. In 1949, Sam, 2 were killed in a crash near Horse Cave. 2 Horse Cave men were killed instantly Monday morning at 2:10 a.m. in a train/automobile wreck at the Standard Oil Crossing at Horse Cave when the Hummingbird Louisville and Nashville passenger train crashed into the Horse Cave patrol car.
The dead were Arthur Wayne Suffet, age 49, a Horse Cave policeman, and the driver of the car, along with Claiborne Brodie, 21, a passenger. The Hummingbird, a diesel-powered train, was being pulled by a steam engine for the first time, and the engineer estimated his speed as being in excess of 40 miles an hour. The patrol car was one of 5 cars recently equipped with a two-way radio connecting Horse Cave, Cave City, and Glasgow. Parts of the car were scattered over a distance, Sam, of 200 feet, and as were the bodies of the 2 victims, the writer says here. In 49, they take it a little further than probably we would today, but
probably so.
Yeah.
But a tragic accident.
Yeah. Now I'm curious to know this passenger. Is that just a friend of the policeman, or was it a passenger who'd been was being taken in on some sort of a charge? I wonder what that was about.
Yeah, that is a good question, and at 2:10 a.m.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, as a general rule, policemen don't have passengers unless there's something official going on. But that was 1949. Anyway, sad story, as I said. Let's go to 1959. Let's save some money on some bedroom furniture, okay? There was an advertisement here in the Glasgow Republican in 1959 about F.P. Williams Company. Come up there, Sam, and get a 9-piece bedroom grouping for $139.95. Get a 7-piece grouping for $119.95 at F.P. Williams. Now, notice in looking at this advertisement, it's kind of backwards the way that it's written, the way we write them today, because we say, hey, you can get this for this. If you want better, go up, go up, go up. But here we are starting at the top end and going down in this advertisement. If you can't afford this, well, now, why not this? Just writing it a little bit piece by piece there. 1959. It's a good deal either way. 9 pieces or 7 pieces. That's an excellent price. F.P. Williams. 1969. We've got some news right here. Hey, another advertisement from a well-known local merchant. This was an ad that reads as follows in 1969. It's that time of year again. Wallpaper sale. Hundreds of patterns to choose from. Half price at Phillips Paint and Paper Store at 107 East Main Street in Glasgow. Hazel and Oval Nichols Phillips, the owners. Very nice folks who ran that store so well for so many years and made a difference in the decoration of a lot of places in this community, Sam.
They certainly did, and Mrs. Phillips had a hand in all of that, and was really an institution in Glasgow.
No question indeed. Downtown on the other corner from over where Phillips Paint and Paper was, this was the day in 1979. This really changed the downtown area more than anybody could have imagined, but this was the day that workmen finished the demolition of the buildings on South Green Street for the development of the new Citizens Bank. Now that area, as a kid, that was a really full area. There were a whole lot of stores in that block right there, and to see all of them taken down in order to build, the nice new pristine Citizens Bank really changed the look downtown. Don't you agree?
Oh, tremendously. In retrospect, we probably wouldn't do all of that today.
Right.
But the old Citizens Bank, the Masonic Lodge, the original location of Gladys K's, the original location of Dollar General store.
Don't forget Bradford Hardware.
Yeah. Just all sort, and then on the end of the block, Pettigo Pontiac that started out as the Pettigo Livery Stable.
Yeah.
Talk about an evolution of progress there. So it was a big change for Glasgow.
A lot of history on that hallowed ground there for sure, Sam.
At the time, Vivian Russo, who was quite the local historian, wrote a book, The Background of a Bank, and that book, which I helped her with a little bit, details the history of just that block of downtown Glasgow, from settlement up to the building of the new Citizens Bank, and it's fascinating, all the history that is connected to just one little block in the middle of our town. And I believe that book has also been reprinted and maybe available down at the Cultural Center or from Sandy Gorin.
We'll have to find out, because a lot of folks would like to read that history for sure. See that block is a beautiful block to this day, but the history makes it even that much more interesting, Sam. This day in 1989, I hate to shift gears so abruptly, but this day in 1989, 2 were killed and 2 more were wounded in Tompkinsville during a shooting on Thursday morning. Now, there's no indication as to why, but hopefully we'll get the rest of the story here as we move a little bit further. But that's Thursday morning, 2 dead, 2 wounded, Tompkinsville, 1989. Ouch. This day in 1999, it was announced that officially the Museum of the Barons has been changed to South Central Kentucky Cultural Center, which hopefully will be open by the end of the year. And Gail Berry puts in here, officially it opened in the fall of 2000. And it continues to be a strong part of our community.
It is, and that was a tremendous undertaking.
Yes.
And had quite an evolution of its own over time. And the reason that the name was changed to the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center was the grant funding was available to provide for more things than just a museum in the old pants factory, and so the name had to be more reflective of the fact that a variety of things were going to be housed there, and activities would be of a wider variety. So that's the reason for that change.
I think that that's a very excellent point you pointed out, and it was a smart decision, because it opened up some more doors to some more opportunities, but yet kind of on the same playing field at the same time, Sam. And this day in 2009, a very simple sentence right here: Cave City approved Sunday alcohol sales. That was a big deal in 2009 to approve Sunday sales. Cave City pioneered it here, and that was 10 years ago. Hard to believe what happens in such what would seem to be a short period of time.
That is certainly correct. And for those of us who grew up with those prohibitions and things, that seems such a foreign idea of one, to have alcohol sales, and two, then to be selling it on Sundays. So
yes,
times have changed tremendously.
Boy, they do. You gotta, you can't keep it the way it was, because that's not progress